French and Indian War, Connecticut on a pier, morning of 1762. Two men fishing and a teenager enters.
Wow, this war sure has gone on longer than I thought it would. We outnumber them 2-1. This shouldn't be happening.
I know, we should have our land by now.
Hey, Dad, catch any fish? Oh, hey there, son. Yeah, fishing's good in Connecticut today.
What were you guys talking about?
Just this French and Indian war.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I wish us French and Indians would stop fighting each other too.
Son, please tell me you're kidding.
What? Why?
We're fighting the French and Indians.
You mean the three of us? All the French and Indians?
No, when we say we, it means the British. The British are fighting the French and Indians.
Oh, of course.
Yes, son, and we're winning, but it shouldn't be taking this long. We should have that land by now. There's so many of us British.
And those soldiers aren't cheap. Getting them here is costing us a pretty penny.
One pretty penny isn't much.
It's an expression, son. A pretty penny means a lot of money. We're worried we're going to have to pay this war off.
Great. Those taxes are going to be outrageous.
But it'll be worth it if we get more land, right?
We're hopeful that when we defeat the French and Indians, that we'll gain all the land west of the Appalachian Mountains.
So does that mean a new big room for me?
Really?
The Proclamation of 1763, Pennsylvania on a farm, afternoon 1763. One man farming, one man walking by.
Hi there, Erica. I haven't seen you forever. I was so busy plowing land that I haven't had a minute free. The weather's been so comfortable this fall that I feel like I have the best harvest I ever had.
I agree. So good at that. They've been talking to the wife about moving past the Denver Appalachian Mountains. She's so excited to see us on the other side. That daredevil.
Didn't you hear?
Hear about what? The call of the land? The thrill of adventure?
No and no. What King George III said.
I try not to listen to what he says too often.
Well, I think you're going to want to hear this. He said that we ain't allowed to move past the mountains.
What? How could he say that? He's never even been here to know what it's like.
It's the proclamation.
The what?
The proclamation. It's a fancy way of saying document.
Ah, right. The proclamation.
Right. The proclamation of 1763. And it King George III says that we can't move past the Appalachian Mountains. He doesn't want us taking over the Native American lands and causing trouble. He worries they'll attack.
But that's ridiculous. I mean, we win the French and Indian War for that man. Now he gives us these restrictions? Can he do that?
Oh, he can't, and he did. The word on the farm is that he wants to exert more control over us. I even heard that he wants to tax us more.
Taxes? Tax what when he won't give us more land to make more money to give him?
Well, the king racked up more major debts fighting the French and Indians. Now we're going to have to pay the bill.
I think we should send him to Georgia with the other debtors.
Stamp Act. Location, England. Time, evening, 1765. Characters. Lord George Grenfell, the Prime Minister of England, and his secretary.
Ah, red ink, all this red ink.
Red ink, Lord Grenville. I thought you were writing in blue ink.
Not the actual color you more, and I mean debt. We're in so much debt from the French and Indian War. I don't know how we'll ever get out of it.
And don't forget the fact that we're sending soldiers to enforce the proclamation of 1763, sir.
You're not helping me.
Sorry, sir.
How are we going to get out of all of this?
Oh, I'm thinking maybe a new tax.
God, it will start a new tax.
Brilliant, sir.
We'll call it the Stamp Act.
But they don't even have a post office yet.
No, not that kind of stamping nincompoop. We'll tax legal documents like newspapers, pamphlets, and diplomas even.
Then shouldn't it be called the Legal Document Act, sir?
No, why'd I ever hire you as my secretary? We'll place stamps on those items after the colonists pay the tax.
But don't you think the colonists would be upset, sir?
Upset? Why would they be upset? They are British citizens.
Right, sir. Of course, sir. But the proclamation of 1763, where we told them they couldn't move past Appalachian Mountains, that didn't go too well, sir.
Which brings me back to my original point.
You had it, Sarah.
Of course I had a point. Write a letter to the colonists letting them know they're being taxed, and put 2 stamps so it does not get lost in the mail.
As you wish, sir.
Boston Massacre. Location, Boston. Time, evening, March 5th, 1770. Characters, Stan Adams, the colonel rebel, and his friends taking a walk and finding the Boston Massacre occurring. They met a third member of the mob.
All these lobster backs make me sick.
Yeah, we do have the fish allergy you should be careful about.
No, I mean the fish. The ones in the red coats. Get it? Lobsters, red coats?
Oh, yeah. I was just seeing if you got it.
I can't believe old King George sent them over here to make sure we pay our taxes. We don't even get a say in government anymore. Why should we pay to support it?
I know. No taxation without representation.
I agree with you. No taxation without representation!
Hey, what's that sound? Do you hear the bell?
And was that a gunshot? Hey guys, what's going on here?
Hey, what's going on over here?
It's the British soldiers. Colonists are attacking them. You know the usual. Name calling, throwing snowballs, harmless stuff.
How did it escalate?
A British soldier was knocked down in the crowd. When he got up, he started firing into the crowd. Yeah, was it gunshots we heard? Indeed you did. Who's responsible for starting it? I think it's Crispus Attucks.
Crispus who?
You know him, the African-American sailor. And he was killed?
Killed? Was anyone else killed?
Yes, 5 total. They're calling it a massacre.
A massacre? I mean, it's sad and all, but 5 people hardly sound like a massacre.
Right, but that'll give our cause more support. A massacre sounds a lot sadder than a snowball fight that turned wrong. Hey, did you hear about the Boston Massacre?
Location, Boston. Time, December 16th, 1773. Characters, 2 English sailors aboard the Boston Tea Party ship.
I don't really understand what the colonists are so upset about with this tea.
Yeah, me either. So they're being taxed on it. So what else is new? Britain taxes them on everything else. They should be used to it by now.
Right, I mean, they're still citizens under King George.
I don't know if I'd mention the king's name here in Boston. This is the site of the most rebellion. Have you heard of the Boston Massacre?
Yes, some massacre. I've heard like 5 people were killed. Big deal.
Is that someone coming onto our ship?
No, it couldn't be. Could it?
Is it a Native American?
No, I think it's a colonist dressed up like a Native American. What are they doing?
And are they picking up tea?
Oh my gosh! Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing?
I think I am.
They're dumping the tea in the river!
Huh. The newspapers were right when they said the colonists didn't like the tea tax.
King's not gonna like this.
I'm not going to tell him.
Oh yes you are.
Why?
Because I'm not gonna tell him. King's not too happy these days.
Well, maybe we should stop them.
They're almost done.
Done? That's 15,000 pounds of tea, all going to the fish.
Yeah, King George is really gonna hate you for telling him about this.
First Continental Congress, Philadelphia, September 1774, to Milwaukee in downtown Philadelphia.
So what do you hear they've been talking about during the Continental Congress?
I haven't even heard of it yet. What's a Congress?
I think it was under a rock.
No.
It's a group of people meeting from the colonies to discuss what to do.
From all of the colonies?
Well, all of them but Georgia.
Huh, well, I guess 12 out of 13 ain't bad.
I guess not.
So, what did you hear them talking about?
Prefixes.
What? Okay, maybe I've been under a rock, but prefixes? Isn't that something you learn about in 6th grade?
Well, just a certain prefix.
I'm confused.
Or do you just not understand? I cracked myself up. Non is in non-importation, non-exportation, and non-consumption.
When did you learn all them big fancy words?
Well, someone had to pay attention in 6th grade. Non-importation means we won't bring in goods from England. Non-exportation means we won't send them out. And non-consumption means...
We won't consume goods from there, like the tea that was at the Boston Tea Party you heard about.
Exactly. You must have stayed awake at least one day in elementary school.
Haha, very funny.
I know I am. I think it's a complete boycott of British goods.
What did boys have to do with anything?
Not boys, boycott. You know, when we won't use goods from somewhere like
We're boycotting tea from England now, so we're not using it.
Right. Boycott.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so let me make sure I got this straight. So no using British goods, no sending them out or bringing them to the colonies, right?
Right.
What are you hutting about?
Nothing. I guess you're just smarter than you look.
Hey!
We just can't stand for those intolerable acts. I mean, I don't care if you're a loyalist or a patriot. They're so unfair to the people of Boston. They have to be repealed.
There you go with them big fancy words again. Repealed?
Golly gosh. Repealed means to remove law. You don't want to keep the intolerable acts, do you? Or you're more loyal to old King Georgie than I thought.
Hey, I ain't no loyalist, and I don't like the intolerable acts as much as any patriot. I say repeat, repeat, repeat it.
Don't you mean repeal, repeal, repeal?
Oh, yeah.
Battle of Lexington and Concord. Lexington and Concord in Massachusetts. April 19, 1775. The characters are a British general, a British soldier, and a British spy.
Sir, this is such a long walk. Are we almost there? Stop your whining, soldier. We'll arrive at the armory soon. Oh, you mean that place where the colonists are storing all our weapons? What a weird name, armory. It sounds like it has more to do with parts of the body instead of weapons and ammunition. Haven't you ever wondered, sir, why they use that name arms? Enough, soldier. Can we walk in peace for these next few miles? This will be a quick takeover of the armory, much quicker than that little speech you just gave. Sorry, sir. What now? I can tell you have something to say. It's just that, well, I know we're here for the armory, but is that all, sir? So the colonists have some weapons. It'll be nothing compared to the British Army supply. Well, you have a point there. We're also going to arrest John Hancock and Sammy Adams. Those no good patriots have been getting a little too smug. Smug, sir? You know, a little too sure that their little colonies can act however they want toward Britain. It's treasonous. You're right, sir. Very smug. Very smug indeed. Sickeningly smug, in fact. So smug that I've never seen someone smugger. Probably the smuggiest. Smuggiest. Do you think that's a word, sir? I mean, I never heard it used. Are you finished? Yes, sir.
Colonel, I have some important news.
What is it, spy?
It's the Minutemen, sir.
The minute what?
The colonists. They've created a sort of militia, a group of men who are ready at a moment's notice. They call themselves Minutemen. They're heading towards Lexington now. They've told Paul Revere. He's riding in town to alert them.
Well, that could be a problem. Would be? Would be? Well, okay, maybe a big problem.
Even bigger than you may think, Colonel. The Minutemen's leader, John Parker, is telling his men, and I quote, "Do not fire until you see the whites of their eyes."
What? The whites of my eyes? But you can't see the whites of my eyes until we're standing really close.
I think that's his point.
Pull yourself together, soldier! This shall be a quick battle, if we can even call it that. I'll just tell them, and I quote, "Disperse, disperse, you rebels, down with your arms, and disperse." I know they'll listen to me. Really? That's it? You'll just tell them to disperse, and you think they're all going to run away. I knew I shouldn't have come along for this. I mean, disperse, disperse. That's what he tells me now. Great plan. Absolutely brilliant. That will really show them. I mean, really. Excuse me? I mean, excellent plan, sir. That's why you're the man in charge. Nothing to worry about here.
In actuality, the soldier did have something to worry about, but not until they reached Concord. In Lexington, only 1 Englishman was wounded, while 8 militiamen were killed. The British troops were ordered to reassemble and march to Concord to find John Hancock and Sam Adams, who had escaped. While marching there, Minutemen hid in trees and wooded areas and attacked British soldiers by surprise. At the end, 73 British soldiers had died and 174 more were wounded, while 49 patriots were killed and 39 more were wounded.
Oh, and don't forget the famous name for it.
I was getting to that, if you could stop interrupting.
They called it the shot heard around the world.
The Intolerable Acts in Boston, midday, May 1777. The characters are Son of Liberty, Man on the Street, and a Loyalist.
that we have been treated unfairly since the Boston Tea Party. Just because people boarded His Majesty's tea ships and dumped the cargo in the bay, it's like what kids have been put on restriction.
Yeah, it's like all of Britain is trying to make an example for us Bostonians.
We were just trying to prove a point that we won't stand being taxed for our tea, and that His Majesty's royal proclamations are intolerable.
Intolerable is right. I won't stand being taxed out the wazoo.
Come on, we're not in the Dark Ages anymore. It's 1773.
Well, one thing though, the Sons of Liberty are definitely considered treasonable. They are the ones that seem to have caused most of the turmoil here in Boston. What did you say?
Sons of who?
Sons of Liberty. You've never heard of them? They're a secret group of patriots.
Right, patriots.
Really? I mean, really. We're patriots. You know? People who want us to stand up to the king.
Right, I knew that.
I think the Sons of Liberty were right in what they did and stood to the king, who, in my opinion, seems to be a bit repressive with all these acts. Why haven't you heard about the meetings?
What meetings?
Town meetings. The king's so angry at Massachusetts that His Majesty put them under control of a military governor, and any colonial meetings had to be held outside of Boston.
We need permission from the governor to hold any town meetings at all.
One thing I do know is that they're not opening up Boston Harbor until all the tea is paid for and an order is returned into the city.
Oh, that stupid Boston Port bill. I think Lord North shouldn't have proposed that bill. He thinks the other colonies will be greedy and try to snatch up all that fantastic Boston trade. Well, he's got another thing coming. Even though we are losing money on trade, we are going to unify even stronger.
Seems like the demonstrations against the Stamp Act are just as big as 9 years ago when people demonstrated against the Stamp Act.
Call me radical like Sam Adams and John Hancock, but I want no part of this reconciliation with Britain on these terms.
I heard some of our officials, like Thomas Jefferson, are gathering at Raleigh Tavern in Williamsburg. Something about a Continental Congress where representatives can meet.
Shh, I wouldn't be saying that so loud.
Well, I think I will have to wait a little longer to see which side I will support. But one thing's for sure, a lot of people are upset. There is not much trade happening until we pay for the tea, and the French seem to be extending into what should be our land near the Ohio River. There's bound for something to be brewing on the people.
What's a Congress?
Taxation without representation.
What? I thought you were writing in blue ink.
Not the actual color you... What did I color at the time?
Done.
Turn around. I see your back.
They're like,
They're dumping the tea in the river.
Yeah, maybe.
yeah, we won't stand being taxed on tea.
And then they're like,
Last month,
line,
I
please.
can see it. Considered treasonable. They are the ones that.
Was that a gunshot? Hey guys.
Get my fears.
Still recording. Yay for group 2.
Never forget use.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Here for group 3. Woo! Clap, everybody.
Oh, and don't forget the famous name for it.
I was getting to that, if you could stop interrupting.
They called it the shot heard around the world.